And so it does come time again to Sudoku. First, the pointless practice of pressing random buttons that is actually organized, and the fundamental reaction time tester for the sake of knowing exactly how well I can do if given the chance. However, I am also required to make sure that I have the rest of my mental faculties as I go about the remainder of the tasks, which is to finish the last of the puzzle for today. My absolute domination of this puzzle is of course no question. The question, however, is how fast can I do it without candidate. Starting with the number 4, we see only one chance because the other one has to be in the other row. That is obvious. So much with this and with that. And 7 is completely harder to find except for this one. And then the other 7 must be here and here. 6 is here, I believe, because it cannot be in the middle and it cannot be elsewhere. This 6 has to be up here because, but we don't know which one it is in, so we don't know. 2 is here, and then we don't know, except for here, so we must be here, and here, leaving here. 5, for example, extremely hard to find. And it is still hard to find, except for this one, where the only place it must be remaining is here, and here, and there. That makes it at least a little bit easier. But the other number 5 is not so easily found. 3, unknown. 2 is solved. 1 is here. 1 also must be either up or down, but not here because there has to be a 1 in these positions, one of them. That doesn't help. 3, unknown. 8. Well, there's the 8. There you have it. And then there is, of course, an 8 here. That makes this 8 easily found. And here, as well as here. 4 is not solved yet, for no reason. Now it is solved. 1 would have to be here, and there, since the 8 was found. 9, 9, 9, what is it, 3, sorry, 6, and 6, 1, 1. Sorry, I thought I was pressing the 1 button. What I just do? Stop doing that. Oh god. Last number is 3. Last number is 5. 5, I guess, because that leaves a 5 down here. Otherwise it wouldn't work. And the last number is 9 and 3. Not too bad. And of course I will not do that here. We will only work with this. So what do we have? It will take me a minute to find something, but the only 6 is in here of that block. So that was easy. 1, 3, 1, 3 can only exist twice in here, otherwise that would be, and that is a 7, and that is a 5. That was easy. Da-dum-dum. 2, for example, can only be found there. 9 is only here. That makes that easy enough. Doesn't help anything else, but it's something. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. 1, 8, 5. Take off my glasses. I'm better without them up close. In this box, 9, 2 spaces. Considering Sudoku, I would assume because there must be a 3 in this row, there cannot be a 3 here. So that's a false 3. This is the only remaining 3. That gives us the answer. Seven is in the bottom. So that's correct. We can't see any other 7 in the column, so that's easy to find. This is the other 7 in the column for that. And then we have 4, 8, 1, and 2 binary. But it's a mixture. We don't know which one is which, so it's hard to tell. If 1, 3 in the row, that means 1, 3 cannot also be elsewhere. Remove them. They are false. If 2, 4 is elsewhere, that means that 6 must be here, because we cannot continue to fill both 2, 4s. Also, that is a 9. And then also, that's as much as I can glean from that for the moment. Seven in the column, the row. Why does my brain mix up those phonemic? This is the only 2 in that entire box. So that's the 2. This is the 4. That's the 8. That is the 4. That's a 3. That's a 1. That's a 3. This is not pick a path yet. We are still just actually finding things. I prefer it this way. Excellent. Um, 5 alternate, 3 alternate, 8, 4, 2, well, no, but 6, yes. So there you go. That doesn't help, but it is something. If 1, 2, and 1, 2 are there, we can't put them anywhere else in the row, but that doesn't tell us anything else about everything else. So that's fine. 4, 2, 8, 5, 1, 9. 8, 9, 8, 9 means this is a 6. Also, it's the only 6 that you can find. And then therefore also 6. Very good. If 4, 8, 1. Huh, that's interesting. But which one is the 8, 1? And then 2, 1, 5, making it more likely that this is the 8. Unclear. If 2, 4, no, okay. 8, 1, 5. In this one, 3 in the row. No, because it's 2 in the box. Even, so that doesn't even help. Damn it. 7. Oh, yeah, that's a 7. One last number to look for. Interesting how that works out. 3. In the entire box, it cannot be another 3. It's the recognizing that that is even possible. It's so interesting. And then looking at 4, there's not a lot of information about 4, except for it would be at the top. These ones would be on the side. That would leave this in the middle and this on this side, because this has to be on at least this side. It's somewhere over here, so it cannot be there, for example. So you could remove those 4s. So then you think of it being in the middle, but there's no other way it can be in the middle except for in this box. So it cannot be anywhere else in this box, leaving the last remaining 4 here. So that was easy to solve. Or good eliminations, as I like to say. Similarly, because when a vertical is entirely blocked, you have to think of where else it could be. It's nowhere else but in that box. So nowhere else in the box could it be. Similar reasonings. 4 on the side means nothing to me. This is the least understood, the remaining 4s. So we can't go on that. But what if I think of a different number instead? 5, 5, 5. No. Damn it. And no. How does 8 look? 8 is extremely unknown. So is 9. Similar, however, in the entirety, there is no other 9 in this row. So there has to be a 9 here, and that would make the other 9 there. Because it can't go anywhere else in the row. Good elimination. Winky face. Which versus this to be a 9. Still doesn't give us any more information. That's an 8. That's a 1. Which helps this 8 and that 1. That 8. Nice. Everything's working. Definitely on the right track. Question is what remains. 2 in the entire row. I mean, that was also easy to know. Then we consider this 2. And it's the only one in the box. And this one. So that's easy. That's a 1. That's a 5. Which makes this 1, 5, 2. Now it's just the remaining numbers, which are still in some queer binary, which I can say because I'm also queer, which just means questionable, but let's not get into that. This is a 1. Does not help very much. Although that makes this a 5, and then an 8. That's a 4. Knowing that 1 apparently helped everything, because here we go, and that's why we need the testing the speed of it all, because it just collapses after finding that 1. No, there was no pick a path. Everything was deduction. 10 minutes, 53 seconds medium. Not bad. On to hard. We begin. If 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, it's most likely that's definitely a 1. Because otherwise in the box it wouldn't. And also if that's 2, if those 5 2s are the only ones there, they can't be anywhere else in the box. That's a lie. It is impossible for them to be anywhere else in the box. This is the only 8 in the box. So that was an easy find. Similarly, if 5, 2 is in that box, and it must be, then it cannot be elsewhere in the column. And the 4, 3 cannot be elsewhere in the row. So it's small eliminations, but we are getting there. And then 9 in the box, easy to find. I believe that is correct anyway. Unknown, unknown. If 9 there, that doesn't help. Ow, my eye. Why is my eye doing things? Okay, if 1, 2, 1, 2, and 9, 4, and 4, and 3, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. That doesn't help. Okay, if 7, 7, 7, 7, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3, and 6, and 5, and 8. Of course, 8 at the top leaves nothing to weird. Seven, 6, 3, 2. A lot of unclear. Okay, hold on. 7, 6. Down here, 7, 6, 9, 7, 6, 9. That seems correct at least. But that doesn't help me know which one is the 9. That's a 7 though. So that's helpful. Yay. And then of the, we don't know, because 2, 9, 2, 8, 4, 6, 2, 8, 4, 3, sorry. And then 6, 9, we don't know. 5, 4, 2, 1, 3, 9. 5, 1 in the entire, no. 7, 9, 6, 5. No. If 6, no. 6, 9, 6, 9, 6, 9. So many 9s, 6s, and 8s that it makes more sense that there would be. Well, the 5 has to be elsewhere. And the 1 is somewhere. And I don't know anything. Nothing concrete yet. The weirder thing is when I do a binary and then I end up with the answer quickly, but it doesn't feel like I'm actually solving it. Assisted analysis. This is anal sissy. Sorry. Four, 3, and then 7, 6, and 9. Wait, 9! That's a 9. There we go. Interesting. How they just pop out. Well, there was no other. Let me see why. There was no other 9 in the entire box, plus the rows, so that's like hyper understood. Must be true. And then no other information's given. That's fucking brilliant. Then we have so many 5, 6, 3, 2, 7, and whatever. 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5. So many 2, 5 pairs, 6, 3. 6, 3, 2, 7. 1, 2, 3, 9, 3, 9. 4, 1, 2, 4. 1, 4, 5. 6. It's like everything I gotta think of. I end up just looking at all the columns, all the rows. I end up with no answers. This row, if 5 exists only in this box, which it must, the other 5 is elsewhere. That helps. I hope I'm not on the wrong goose chase, but I believe I'm in the correct paths. No, I'm not looking at chat right now. So... 7, 6, 6, 9, 7, 6, 9, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 6. So if, for example, this was 3 or 6, the 5 could go elsewhere. I've said this type some similar logic else where it's more it's more likely that the 6 would be there. 3 could be there. And the 5. Wait, no. To tile the box, you need all these numbers. So how many conditions actually give you those possibilities? Well, let's say we do 5, 3, 6, and then we have 7, 2. It looks correct so far, which also apparently gives us a 2, 5, 7, 2, 7. I can only hope that I'm on the right path. But I did pick a path and I resent it. It does not feel like proper Sudokuing. But that does look correct. Ironically. Oh, unfortunately I don't see any fault with it, so I have to continue hoping it is correct. And then I don't know how to choose the rest. But what if I chose 3? Then that's a 2, leading to... This is a 4. And I'm still not given a lot of information. And... For example, if 9... That gives me... I don't like this. If binaries can be wrong, then randomly coming across the wrong binary, like multiple times, is more likely than to find the correct binary and then end up with a solution that actually gives you everything. It just totally collapsed. No mistakes, no backturning. It just has collapsed. Well, it has a fucking back. Well, hold on. There's a 111 also. What the how the hell did that happen? Let's just continue as if we actually typed those correctly. How the fuck did that happen? Shut up. This would be a 5. That's a 2. That's a 9. And so we are still at an impasse where this is incorrect, meaning one of our multiple assumptions about the bullshit that we thought of, and I don't remember where it started, are all incorrect. So we have to reassess from the beginning. Great. Love that. Love when that happens. Well, that's a 7. That's like the obvious 7. It's the only given number that there is. And then we made an assumption because 1 in the box is not an assumption, that's the truth. And then 2525, well, it can't exist 25 in the column elsewhere. And it also can't exist elsewhere in the box. This is the truth about how numbers work this way, leaving this to be an 8. This is still true. And then if 3, no, I will attempt to refuse to binary again. I don't like it. Meanwhile, what do I have? 5 elsewhere counter and such. God, I have no idea the other logics that I ended up discovering. Two and 3. 2, 3. So 1. If, let's say, we start trying to tile the plane. Based on the largest number, and then go on from there for some reason. What a ridiculous notion. It's no more, it feels no different of a binary except for it's evolving differently. Interesting. Because last time I solved other numbers first. Where is anything? Didn't I find a random 9? I have no reasoning for that anymore. Oh. Why is that 9 not there anymore? That changes my entire logic. But that could be a good thing, as my logic needed to be questioned. 2 in the box, likely to not beat. Who elsewhere we don't know. I already made assumptions about things. 8, 4 is just a choice. 4, 1, 2, 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. Eight column 3, 2, 6, 1. Like I made the problem is I made random choices for these things, except for that 7 and that 1, which is definite. The only definite. The only fully understood truths. Did I find anything that I can actually work with? I don't know. Recently, Hank Green talked about electrons not orbiting the nucleus, and he said that's not what they do. And I'm like, we need to have a talk. So let me explain to you something. Electrons, in fact, do orbit an atom. The question is, nucleus is the correct term. And it's like, I don't know. I don't think so. 5 somewhere in the box, only these 2 specific pieces. Oh, I cannot find anything. For example, 9 there and 9 there. 9 here, but also 9 there. The problem, oh, how did, yes, 2 and 5 must be in those other places. That is the truth about that. And 4 free alternate. This is still an 8. That is also true. My mistake. One, 2 looks like a 1, 2 binary, but it's not enough. And then 4, 1, 2, and 3 in all of this row is annoying. And then 8, 9, 1 column, no, 1 here. 1 elsewhere. But if 1 were to be in the middle, oh, it doesn't clear it out. 1 in this box, however, is the only one in the box. So that's helpful. That means this is a 2. Interesting. Curious. And then other numbers. For example, this column seemed interesting to me, and I don't remember what. 4 in the column must be then 4 in the other sections of this box cannot. At least I know about 4. But that doesn't tell me enough to proceed. Well, if 4 can't be anywhere else in the column in that box, it must be like it is here, and it therefore cannot be elsewhere in the box. That is a definite truth. And then I don't know what else that means. If 5, 3, and 6, for example, are in this column, they cannot be elsewhere in the box, for there is nowhere else that it could be. So 5, 3, and 6 are not elsewhere in this box. So that is highly limiting, or reducing, or whatever. Meaning 5, 3, and 6 are also in the column, and therefore 6 cannot be, and 5, 6, and 3 also cannot be in the rest of the column. That's helpful, or at least it feels like it is. 6 binary. Interesting. 1, 8, 4. If 1 and 8 remaining number is 4, if 1 and 4 remaining number is 8. We don't know. Similar rules apply and whatever else that we can only see maybe 9 or 9, I don't know. 9 and 9, 9 and 9, it's unclear, unlike before, which was different. Oh, and I put a 6 here, there shouldn't be a 6 here. That's not possible. 5, 6, and 3 are spoken for. Well understood. Similarly, 6, 9, not definitive. 4, also unknown. But if I were to think about it, 4 would leave 9, 3, and 1. 3 wouldn't leave 9, 1. There are similar logics, but it does means two separate dual states, which is not helpful. 5 in multiple places, 8 in multiple places, 6 and 7 also, but 7 is limited. Since 7 must be somewhere in the column, it is unclear. 7 also must be here and here. 4, 6, 8, 5, 3, 7, 2, 1. If 1 is in the row, and it is only that 1 in the row, that means that 1 can't be elsewhere in the box. But that is already understood. But that's interesting. Not helpful. There's so little to know, and so much binary to do. At some point I just switch off into binary and I just solve it and give up. I don't like doing that. If 9 must be 9, 6 could. A fatigued mind is not meant to Sudoku. Wait, if 4 in the column. Oops, I made a mistake. 3 cannot be here. It's already in the row. Similarly, there are way too many 5s. I don't think 5 can be in all of these places. But 7 and 2 and all of this also just as irrelevant. But I made the correct choice with that one elimination. The 3. Meaning there are less possible positions for 3. Interesting. And then remaining is 6, 5, 3. The 9, 2, 7 trinary within the box. 9, 8. Oh, it's so difficult to foresee for my brain. Me scratching my brain. If 4 in... Okay. That's already understood. And... Let's begin the binaries. Okay, so if we assume 7 is down here, and that means this must be a 2-9 pair, which isn't helpful. But let's just start with something. Hold on. Is there... No, I can't see anything. 4 alternate, 4 alternate, 4 alternate. If I pick 4 to be here, for example, 8, 2, not much else information, but let's see, keep going. God, I wish there was music. I have the ability to choose if there is music, but I don't have the ability to be aware of what the music would be. That's interesting. Something about... Now I'm trying to use deduction after use binary. I hate it. When did we start? Oh God, I don't remember. Oh, 4 free was the first binary I chose. It just feels like hard gives you not enough information. Like, I can't, if I have to binary in order to get through everything, that's not really a good puzzle. Although some other free simple numbers are found, and even with candidate system and some of my eliminations, I have still found nothing to give me a solid answer. Trying with the 8 again gives us nothing else. Something in the way. Yeah. Something in the way. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sakes. What was that? Was that 5-2 or 2-5? Damn it, I forgot which freaking binary I chose to try to go down the rabbit hole of. Oh, whatever. It'll easily just fail itself again. We'll try again. I'm sure. Yeah. Mm, unless, of course, we find it. What the hell? Oh, well, that happened. Random binary chose, collapsed, sucked me off. Challenge to do it without binary? No, fuck you. Don't care. Similarly, how I refuse to do a medium without candidate, I refuse to do this without using binary. Sometimes, if I literally can't find, like, I just basically give up at that point. Just some kind of binary, just pick some numbers. Apparently it's correct. What do you want? Also, did you like my music styles? I should really be recording me humming in the shower more often because I do it often and it's like there's so many different melodies that I can just go through. It's kind of nice. Although it's kind of formless and nothing. But it would be something maybe you could play for your baby or something. It'd be nice little humming. I don't know. Something to think about. Another thing to branch into. Woo! Look up my Megabonk 7-hour video and shut up. Electrons orbit the goddamn thing.